Since I was 6 years old, I loved Godzilla. I mean, I was the biggest Godzilla fan. I watched Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Godzilla vs. Hedorah. I mean, the list goes on. But the one movie that started it all was Gojira, the most iconic monster movie of all time, in my opinion, which came out in 1956. And it represented the nuclear terror that the Japanese went through in World War II, with symbolizing, of course, a giant monster destroying a city. Now, the Americans have tried to capitalize on this success by trying to make a remake. The first time they tried it, it didn't work out so well, it didn't even make it to production. Now, the second time they try it, Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day, got his hands on it. And we got Godzilla 98, which, needless to say, didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. I refuse to acknowledge his existence. But now we move on to 2014, and Legendary Pictures, Warner Brothers, gives us a new Godzilla film directed by Gareth Edwards, the director of the indie film Monsters, which spawned good critical success. However, most of you guys probably don't know what it is, but it's a very good movie. So, how does this remake stand as a monster movie? Well, it succeeds, certainly. The cast is top-notch. You have Bryan Cranston, which does a fantastic job when he's in it, but the lead role is Aaron Taylor-Johnson, the star of Kick-Ass, which he surprisingly pulled off an incredibly serious and emotional role, as well as Elizabeth Olsen for the part she's given. But who cares about the cast? Where do we generally go to see these? Exactly, the monster battles. And are they good? Yes. But that's not the highlight of the movie. The highlight of the movie are the human characters, which is Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and their story. Well, I'm not going to get into the plot very much, because this is a movie that you want to go in knowing as little as possible, but let's just say that it's very, very well done. The visuals are incredible, easily some of the best I've seen, especially for Godzilla and the other monster in the movie, which I'm not going to confirm how many or that, because, as I said before, it's best you go into this knowing as little as possible. But overall, it is a fantastic way to kick off the summer. I mean, I guess you could consider The Amazing Spider-Man 2 that, but this Godzilla is truly the first great summer blockbuster. It is my favorite monster movie at this point. Now, does it really live up to the original Gojira? And personally, I think it did. I think it surpassed that. Just the story, the visuals, the themes of terror and the sense of dread you get while watching it. I remember I went with one of my friends to go see it. We were sitting in the theater, right, and literally when Godzilla steps on the screen for the first time, the entire crowd just goes silent. We're just like, just a few movies give that effect. Now, of course, there are a few flaws with it. This movie does a lot of teasing. What I mean by that is, it makes you think something's going to happen. There's a lot of build-up, and you think there's just might be a monster battle or something, and then you cut to the next day, and then you just see the aftermath of it. And you're like, what? Well, it's interesting. It's not in a bad way. It gives you wanting more, and it just kind of like, okay. And Gareth Edwards does a really good job teasing you while keeping you intrigued, and then in the third act, he just lets the reins go, and craziness from there. We're talking about big-scale monster battles, just everything wrapping together, and that's done fantastically. So, I'd say overall Godzilla is probably the best movie of this year, and I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason why I'm going to give it a half star, well, the reason why it's getting 4.5 instead of a 5, is the fact there were some pacing issues with the build-up. My friend didn't find it at all, how should I say it? He didn't find it at all like a hindrance to the movie, but I thought that they could have actually shown a little bit more, and I thought the teasing was a little bit too much at times. But overall, I recommend that you go see it, and hopefully make it the highest grossing movie of 2014. Thanks for watching, guys, and have an excellent day.